Tarine Rupanuga Virudapasadanta Dwanta Harine Namo Gaurikishoraya Shakshadvaragya Mortaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaurashakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gauravibhava Bhumestvam Nirdesta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatha Te Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavidanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Surator Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasya Parambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimad Radnagada Simhasanasto Shri Radha Srila Govinda Devo Preshtalabhi Sevyamanos Manami Shriman Rasarasarambi Bhamsivata Tatastitaha Karshan Venuswaner Gopir Gopinata Shri Estunaha Vrindai Tulosi Devyai Priyai Keshavasicha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sachivityai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhakta Kyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Page 23 Krishna hoite chatur mukha Hoya Krishna sevan mukha Brahma hoite nara dedamati Narada hoite vyasa Madhvaka he vyasa dasa Purna pragya padmanabhagati Narhari Madhava Vamse Akshobhya Paramahamse Shishya Boli Angi Karakare Akshobhyera Shishya Jaya Tirtha Name Parichaya Taradase Gyana Sindhu Tare Taite Doya Nidhi Taradasa Vidya Nidhi Rajendra Hiro Tahate Tahara Kinkara Jaya Dharma Name Parichaya Parampara Jana Balomate Jaya Dharma Dasya Kyati Shri Purushottama Jati Tahate Brahmanya Tirtha Sori Vyasatirtha Tara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tahate Madhavendra Puri Madhavendra Puri Vara Shishya Vara Shri Ishvara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Kedanya Kori Lenya Shri Chaitanya Jagaguru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahayanya Rupanuga Janera Jivana Vishwambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatana Tada Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vara Narottama Seva Pada Jada Pada Vishwanatha Asa Vishwanatha Vakrasata Baladeva Jagannatha Tada Priya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahaprabhata Bala Shri Gaura Kishora Vara Hari Bhajani Tejara Moda Shri Varsa Bana Vivara Sara Sevya Seva Para Tara Daita Dasanama. He's going now. Yeah. We lost the Guru. Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Swarupa Rupa Nuga Keshu Shiva Bhakati Pragyana Gaudiya Vedanta Veda Maya Vada Tamanta Gaudavani Prachara Chadama Prachayalo Gaudavani Bhakati Vedanta Swami Parayalo Prabhupada Kama Keshapriya Mahajana Vamana Narayana Gaudavani Tade Pranadhana E Sabari Jana Gaurangera Nija Jana Tade Dauchiste Mudakama Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Guru page 36. Vrindavanavasi jato Vaishnavera gana Partame bandhana kori Sabara charana Nilachalavasi jato Mahaprabhu gana Pomite padiyavando Sabara charana Navadvipavasi jato Mahaprabhu bhakta Sabara charana vando Hoyanurakta Mahaprabhu bhakta jato Govda deshe stiti Sabara charana vando Koriya pranati Jai deshe vaishe Gaurangera gana Udbhava kori vando Sabara charana Oya chena oyi venam Prabhu jato dasa Sabara charana vando Tante korigasa Brahmandatarite shakti dhare jane Evera parane guna gaje vasune Mahaprabhu gana sava patita pavana Toilo bimohi papilo ina sharana Vandana karite moi kato shakti dori Tama buri doshe moi dhamba machakori Tatapi mukhera bhagya manera ulasa Tosakshami moadame karani jadasa Sarva vancha siddhi hoya lama bhanda chute Jagate dalava hoya prema dana lute Manera basana pana Achirate hoya Devi ki nandana dasa Elovika Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Yeah, it was a whole moment. Yeah. I know I felt kind of bad. Maybe I should have gone with them. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'll see him again. Krishnamurli. Page 200. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive doya kori Swaparsara sviya dhama Sahavatari Atyantya durlabha prema Kori varidhana Shikaya sharanagati Akatera prana Dainyatmani vedana Gopchit vivarana Avasya rakshive Krishna Vishwasa palana Bhakti anukula macha karera svikara bhakti pratikula bhava vajanangikara saranga saranagati hoibe jara tahara pratana sune Srinanda Kumara Rupa Sanatana Bhare Tante Trina Kori Pakate Vinora Pare Duparadori Kariya Kariya Bole Amito Adama Shikaye Sharanagati Karohe Utama Jaya Swarpasara Jaya Gaurahari Swarpasara Jaya Gaurahari Jaya 86. We can do it all together. Same.
How about if you write and then tell them, message them and tell them that you regret that you didn't go to the airport?
Okay.
And it's like,
Okay. Yeah, I was in the middle of the bhajan and then all of a sudden I was like, wait.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga bolite habe Pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite na Yane bavinira Aika venita chande Karuna ibe Samsara vasana mora Kabe tu chave Ishaya chariya kabe Shurave mana Kaveha Maye Ravo Shivrindavana Ruparagunata Pare Hoibe Akuti Kaveha Mabuja Bose Jugala Piriti Ruparagunata Pade Rahumarasa Prarthana Karo Yesara Narotamarasa Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Bhaveni Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jaya Gaur Nita Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nita Gaura Hari Bo Nita Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nita Gaura Hari Bo. Welcome, Hari Bo.
That's Samir.
Samir. Nice to meet you.
We have a song about Samir too. In our song.
Dita Samir.
Yada Samir.
We did Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayati yesterday. That was nice. Let's do that. Sorry, looking. Page 341. Now call and response. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. O Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. O Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. 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 Damodara Rati Vadhana Veshe Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe. 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 Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Daite Vrishabhanudari Navashashileke Lalita Saki Gunaramita Vishake. Vrishabhanudari Navashashileke Lalita Saki Gunaramita Vishake. Vrishabhanudari Navashashileke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake. Vrishabhanudari Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake. Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava. Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Dite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Shirupa Sanatana Varnita Charite. Karunam Kurumai Rite Shirupa Sanatana Varnita Charite. Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Radhe, Jaya Jaya Madhava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Radhe, Jaya Shri Krishna. Someone want to lead actual Mahamantra? Sumuki?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai, Hani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Haribo, Haribo, Go Premanandi. Okay, prayers. So Samir, we first say prayers to our disciplic succession of self-realized gurus, gods, goddesses, so that they will be present in the meeting and it will become out successful. Agyanam timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaudachandraya Radhikaya Tvadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Namah. Young for a moment. Pravrajantam anupetam petakrityam dvaipayano virahaka taruajuhava putriti tanmayataya taravo benedus tang sarvabhut hridayam munimanatosmi bhaktya vihinai aparadalakshay chiptasya kamadi tarangamadye kripamai tvang sharanam prapadyam brinde namaste charanarvindam tavoivasmi na jivami tam vina iti vigyaya radhe tam charanantike kripayati yadi radha padita sheshabadha kema padam vashishtam pushti maryadayorme yadi vadati chakinshit smeraha sodita srir Twijavadamani Pantya Muktishuk Jatadakim Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Smedaha Samurali Manohar Radhikara Sikamam Kripanite Swapriya Charana Kinkari Karo Prananatha Vrishabhanun Sri Mukhabjara Salola Satapada Radhika Padatale Kritastitim Tambajami Rasikandra Shekara Sambhidaya Dashine Trinam Bibo Prartaye Brajamahendra Nandan Astu Mohantavati Pallava Janma Janmane Madhispari Priya. If Sri Radha is merciful to me, then unlimited obstacles to my devotion will be removed. There will be nothing superior for me to obtain, because I will have received the excellence offered by the paths of both Vaidhi and Bhakti, Rag. And if she speaks something while smiling gently, thereby revealing the brilliance of the rows of her beautiful pearl-like teeth. What significance will the oyster of liberation have? O Shyamasundar, O you whose head is adorned with peacock feathers, that is Shikanda Sekar, whose face is graced with a laughing smile, Smedahas, whose murli flute enchants the mind, Murli Manohar, and who are most expert in relishing ras with Srimati Radhika. Swapriya Charanakin Kari Karu, please make me a kinkari or maidservant at her lotus feet. And Radhika Rasika Mam Kripanite, O ocean of mercy, and who is expert in relishing ras with Srimati Radhika, Radhika Rasik. Okay, so first I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotar Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotar Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to our Param Gurudevs, our grandfather gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all of his divine associates, to all the assembled devotees, and the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Guru, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So we're coming closer and closer to the day of the anniversary of Krishna's birthday, called Janamastami. Astami means the 8th day of the moon. So Purnima, a few days ago, we celebrated Baladev Purnima. Baladev's appearance day was observed on the full moon day, Purnima. So what happens is every month the moon gets bigger and bigger till it comes to the Purnima, and then it starts descending, or what do you call it? Waning. It starts waning until it comes to the new moon where you can't see it really. And then it waxes up to the full moon again. So Janamastami, Janam is Krishna's birth, Astami is the 8th day of the waning moon. But even though it was the 8th day of the waning moon, at the moment Krishna appeared, it was a full moon, because the predominating deity of the moon was so overjoyed that he made it a full moon. So for a few days before Janamastami, which is Saturday, Gurudev would have the different devotees, and he also would speak about the appropriate topics leading up to his birth. So yesterday we discussed the reasons why Krishna descends. And so I'd like to ask you all to help review that. This is a midterm test. So Raghaja, can you give one of the reasons that Krishna appeared, just in brief?
Well, there was many reasons that got brought up yesterday, but one of them that's coming to mind is when Lord Ram was on the planet exhibiting his pastimes. He was in the forest with Sita and Lakshman, and there was a great demoness named Suparnika, and she became attracted to Lord Ram, and she changed her ghastly form into a very attractive lady to entice Lord Ram. But Lord Ram and Lakshman were joking with her back and forth, and actually what happened is they ended up cutting off her nose in jest, and she went back to Ravan and gave this whole false explanation. But Lord Ram, just to be brief, he actually accepted her mood, but he said, but not right now. In the future, when I come as Krishna, then
I don't know if he promised her that.
oh
She just ran away to Ravana.
oh.
Ah.
But
Yeah.
my understanding is at least that she came
He
back as
accepted her offer in his heart.
yeah, he accepted her offering in his heart, and so then one of the reasons that he descended was to receive that offering in a future manifestation of Kubja in Dwarka, or Mathura, or Dwarka, Mathura, and so there Krishna also accepted the offering. So that was one of the reasons.
Good. Anyone else, Sumukhi?
Also,
Gurudev said if I'm giving a class and then after the class you just go start talking about something else and thinking about something else, then it evaporates into the air. And if you talk about it and think about it, then it comes into your heart. So I hope in the future you'll be able to do that. So yeah, what's another reason?
why Krishna came.
Mm-hmm.
Krishna came to kill the demons, but the one that I wanted to say was that just like he was saying that Ram accepted a lot of princesses that he couldn't marry because he was married with Sita, but he said that he had to come back as Krishna and they would come back as the gopis and dance with him and the rest.
What princesses?
I don't remember that part.
When he came into Mathila, then the princesses there wanted to marry him in their heart. So he agreed to accept them, but when he could accept many consorts. Good. And you knew you were coming.
Yeah. I forget their names, but for pastime's sake, Yashoda and Nanda were in their previous, quote-unquote, previous forms, prayed to have the Lord as their child. So Krishna came to fulfill that desire. Or was it Devaki and Vasudev? Both. It was both. So he did that. And then I think it's a similar but different story. Was it the sages that were meditating in the forest? Was it Namisharanya?
Dandakaranya.
Dandakaranya. Krishna gave them also the benediction of coming later as in their lives as gopis to dance with him also.
Well, who did they meet who gave them mercy so that they would hurry up and increase the power of their practice?
Lord Ram?
Good.
Okay.
Now, when you mentioned the previous births of Yasoda and Nanda, I don't even remember if I told that, but they're actually Drona and Dara.
Right.
Drona is the king of mountains. He's the personified father of the Himalayas. So he and his wife did very, very severe austerities for thousands of years. And then when the Lord appeared to them and said, "What benediction do you want?" They said, "We want to have a mood of parental love for you." So that's why for them, when they became Yasoda and Nanda, they never thought of Krishna as God, but they always thought of him as their son, who was helpless without help. And then also Diti and Kashyap. They did severe austerities, standing upside down, thousands of years. And then Lord Narayan appeared to them and said, "What benediction do you want?" And they said, "We want a son like you, a son like you, a son like you." They said it 3 times. And so he said, "Well, you'll never find a son like me, so I'll have to become your son." So because they said it 3 times, he became their son 3 times, as Diti Kashyap, Sutaba, and Prishni, and then Devaki and Vasudev. So that means that they considered him partly as their son and partly as God. We want you to be our son. So that's why they could never be full parents of Krishna, but only partial, and that's why Nanda and Jashoda could be full parents. Mark, do you remember anything?
From a neophyte stage, I know Krishna always comes for his own pleasure. He comes to have a good time and also to help deliver the devotees through his pastimes, to help annihilate the demons, but also help his devotees come rescue
Good.
them.
And so he came to perform ras, enjoy his sweet pastimes, so that even us, 5,000 years later, would be able to hear about them and then advance in bhakti. Good.
Haribol.
You don't remember anything, do you? Maria?
Hello? I was thinking of Bhumi Devi, who asked Brahma to ask Krishna to help with the state of the world at that time. And she couldn't ask Krishna directly, so that was quite something that she
Yeah,
went through.
because in the planet there was what? Atrocities of demoniac kings.
Yeah, so she asked for help and she went.
She went to Brahma and then?
And then Brahma went to Vishnu, Chiradakshay Vishnu. And and then Vishnu could.
Tell them what was going to happen. Don't worry,
yes.
my Master Krishna knows everything and he's making all arrangements.
Yes.
Very good. Good.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so we're going to go on to today's topic, which Gurudev also wanted to discuss, or did discuss, on those few days prior to Janmashtami. And that is a discussion of the very, very first slok or verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, 111. Of all the volumes, this is the first. And Srila Gurudev explained that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, that is our Prabhupada's Gurudev, spoke about this verse for 3 months. It's such an important verse and with so many deep meanings. Can I help you? Okay. All right, so the verse tells what is that absolute truth. Atatu Brahma Jigyasam is one of the first verses of Vyasadev's Vedanta Sutra. Atatu Brahma Jigyasa means, now that you have all passed through the lower species of life and come to this human form of life, now that you have finished with your engagement in gross sense gratification and subtle sense gratification, trying to enjoy this body and mind for personal satisfaction, now it's time to inquire, what is the absolute truth? And the answer is here in the first verse of the Bhagavatam. I'll sing it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadyasya Tonvayad Iteratas Charte Sabhigyan Swarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yatasuraya Tejo Varimurdam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Chishargo Murshad Tamna Svena Sada Nirastakuakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. The meaning is, I learned this verse when I was back, it was back in the 70s, 1970s with Prabhupada. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate on Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of creation, maintenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it? He is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of creation, maintenance, and destruction of all the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. It's going to be explained what it means, conscious and directly and indirectly. Of all manifestations, imagine to be conscious of everything, indirectly and directly. He's the only, it is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji. Brahma is the four-headed, first created being. Do you think you can move over that way? Unless you want me to do neck exercises. And you too. You're both over. You don't have to go that far back, but anyway, so it's a closer periphery. Okay. So Brahma is the original living being. And Krishna spoke the Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahma. Brahma is, yes?
Do you think that the four-headed might be like some sort of metaphor or allegory for like four directions, north, south, east, west?
True, they face the four directions. But he had such a mighty task to do, to be the sub-creator of the universe, that he actually did need four heads. And this is also the smallest or one of the smallest universes. So there are also Brahmas with 10 heads, 20 heads, 100 heads, and none of it's metaphorical. And how they all fit, I cannot say. Okay, so by him, by that supreme absolute truth, Krishna, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, just as one is bewildered by the illusory representation of water on land, fire on water. You know, like the mirage in the desert, then when a person sees water but it's not really there. So it's an illusory representation. Or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes there's only one way you're going to remember this, and that is if you learn the verse. There's too many things to remember otherwise. So I hope you will learn the verse as the homework for today. Only because of him do the material universes. How many are there? A lot. Innumerable. Huh? No, there's a set, but it's innumerable. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature. There are three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance, or light and enlightened, peaceful, calm, goodness, passion, full of anxiety, creation, anguish, fruit, lots of fruitive work, I gotta get this done, and ignorance, sloth, like when you eat meat and fish and eggs and do all kinds of abominable things like drinking and just end up in the drain. So that's, and then you just become an animal or a vegetable or a mineral, a lizard, and then somebody steps on you. What a life. So it's only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the three modes of nature. And there's a constant fight for survival of the three modes. And that's why there's constant creation, maintenance, destruction, and then creation. There's a constant fight. Even within us, there's a constant fight. Should I be good? Should I be bad? But there's no pure goodness in this world because it's always mixed in the fight, always mixed with passion and ignorance. The pure goodness is only in the spiritual realm. So it's only because of him that the illusory representation of the modes of nature appear real, factual, although they are unreal. And I therefore meditate on him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in his transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representation, all the representations of the material world. I meditate on him because he is the absolute truth. Now, although Krishna's name is not directly mentioned here, by the description, it's understood who Vyasadeva is talking about. If you've read all the scriptures and heard from the disciplic succession, you know that he's talking about Krishna. And just like there's a girl, and she's kind of short, but she's not too skinny anymore. And she's always chaste, she covers herself up well. And she speaks in a very high voice. No, I didn't mention anybody's name. And she's very attentive when she does her services. So, did I have to mention a name? Who am I speaking about? Sumukhi. It's obvious by the description. Similarly, it's obvious that this is a description of Krishna. And she also has mystic powers. She could stand up with a computer in her hand and be typing and sleeping at the same time. Okay, so he is Satyam Param Dhimahi. Means I meditate on that supreme Satyam Param. Satyam means the absolute truth. Param means the greatest, supreme, the supreme absolute truth. And if it's the supreme absolute truth, there's no one other than him. As Krishna says in the Gita, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests in me as pearls are hung on a thread. Pearls are strung on a thread, right? They're all strung on the thread. So they're all resting on the thread. Similarly, everything is resting in Krishna. So this isn't anything that I'm saying or the author of these lectures is saying. This is coming from a long chain of disciplic succession, going all the way back to Vyasadeva, who is the literary incarnation of Krishna and manifested all the Vedic literatures. So he's the creator of all the worlds. He maintains them and he destroys them. Just a portion of him can breathe in and out universes. And then the next line, Yaton Vayad Iteratas. Anvayat means direct, and Itara means indirect. So he's directly the manifester of everything. He manifests the spiritual energy, which produces the whole spiritual world of spiritual activities, devotional activities, ecstatic activities, and all the incarnations, and all the spiritual planets, starting from the topmost spiritual planet, Krishna's own abode, which includes everything within it, then it comes out. Like 10 includes 8, right? The 8 can come out, but the 8 is in the 10, intrinsically.
What is the 10 and the 8?
There's 10, let's say there's 10 of anything.
There's 10 of them.
There's a number 10.
Oh.
So 8 is included in the 10. But 8 can also come out and be 8 something. So he creates the Chit Shakti, that is the spiritual potency, which I just described. And then the marginal potency, which is the unlimited tatastha or marginal living entities, that's us. There are 2 kinds of living entities. There's liberated and conditioned. Conditioned means under the control of this illusory energy, under the control of the material nature, and the illusion of thinking himself the doer of activities which are actually carried out by nature. But due to false ego, he thinks, I am doing this. And so that's the conditioned souls. And he's bound by birth, old age, disease, death, and then rebirth. And then there's the liberated souls who are either have become liberated by association and devotional service, or who were never conditioned by being manifest in the spiritual world and only know love alone, only know ecstatic devotional service. They have no idea what's going on in this crazy world because they are imbued with chid bal, spiritual strength. Baladeva is the source of that. Spiritual strength. But we, the Tasta Jiva, was created in between the material and spiritual worlds. We are close to Maya. There's Maya, illusion. Then there's a river, not really water, but there's a river of in between. And then there's the spiritual world. So because we're in that river of in between, very close to Maya, we can easily choose Maya. And then our whole purpose now is to get that Chidbal, that bhakti, there's Parashakti, which is the supreme intrinsic power of Krishna. She's one energy, but she has divided into different aspects. she's not divided, but within her there are three different aspects. That is the spiritual world and the bliss potency of the spiritual world, and the Jiva Shakti, the potency of the innumerable infinitesimal living entities, and the material world called Maya Shakti. Got that? Okay. You might be called on tomorrow. And then what is indirect? He's also indirectly conscious. There's a wonderful thing, not wonderful in a good sense, but wonderful. It's a point of wonder how the living entity who's conscious can fall under the sway of Maya, which is unconscious. How a conscious being can fall under the sway of a unconscious situation, that's Maya, which is inert. There's no consciousness there. How'd it go? Good. Great. You ready to come over? Huh? Am I ready to come over? Yeah, what? What do you need? I need you. I need your ears. Okay. We're just doing the first verse because that's one of the things that Gurudev would discuss or have the devotees discuss on those 4 days before Janmashtami, which is the first, you know it? Close. It's close. Go ahead, continue. Why don't you get a mic?
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the all-pervading truth, the son of Vasudeva, Sri Krishna. He is the cause of all causes, and he is the cause of all causes, the cause of all creation, destruction, annihilation. He is directly and indirectly aware of all manifestations, and he is original because there is no cause beyond him. It is he alone who first spoke the Vedic wisdom into the heart of the first created being, Lord Brahma. It is by him only do the sages and rishis and demigods fall under illusion, like water seen on fire and land seen on water. And it is, and land seen on water, it is by him only that the material worlds, although unreal and temporary manifested by the three modes of nature, appear real, although they are in fact although they are in fact unreal.
Although they're in fact unfactual.
Although they're in fact unfactual. Thanks. And it is he is. I meditate upon him who is eternally existing in the transcendental abode that is forever free from the illusions of this material world.
Very good. Excellent.
Wait, I meditate on him because he's the absolute truth.
Oh, that's true. Excellent. Wasn't that excellent? Good. When I said close, I didn't mean that you weren't getting it right. I meant the pronunciation was close. Okay, so what we're up to now is explaining what indirect means. Indirectly conscious. Do you know? No. Okay, it means that it's amazing that the conscious living entities can come under the sway of inert matter, because the conscious living entities are superior energy. Marginal energy is spiritual energy. It's an infinitesimal piece of spiritual energy, but it doesn't have the full spiritual potency of being a spiritual particle, although it can become like that by devotional practice. So that's a wonder, and there's even an expression for it It's a power of Krishna called Kartam Akartam Patiyasi Shakti. What's wonderful is that the impossible becomes possible. That we would fall into Maya, which is an inferior grade of energy. Then the second line is Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. Means that Krishna first spoke this Vedic wisdom into the heart of Brahma, the first created being. And then Tejo Vadi Mridam Yata. Just as there's an illusory representation of fire on land or land on water or water on land, like a mirage. Similarly, even Brahma knows, but the other demigods don't. They do get bewildered by what is real and what is not real. And then Srila Gurudev is actually quoting from a commentary by that person whose painting you saw earlier, named, on the wall there, Viswanath Chakravarti Thakur. He's a famous Gaudiya Vaishnava author and commentator. So he's explaining that there are 5 deeper and deeper meanings of this first verse. So we're discussing the first meaning, that Vadi, Tejo Vadi Mridam. Tejo means fire, and this fire is compared with Krishna because, this is Viswanath Chakravarti Thakur. He was not a contemporary. He was 200 or 300 years ago. Mahaprabhu was here 500 years ago. So Teja means fire. It seems like you have to light a match or rub 2 sticks together to get the fire, isn't it? Otherwise there's no fire, right? No. There's fire everywhere. Fire is everywhere. And that's why if you light a match, it ignites. Even if you rub 2 sticks together, it ignites. So there are means to bring it out, but it's everywhere. And Srila Gurudev explained that if fire wasn't everywhere, we would not exist. Imagine if there was no sun or sunlight. Imagine if there was no fire of digestion in the body. In fact, what does Krishna say in the 15th chapter? What?
I am the fire of digestion.
Yes, I am the fire of digestion, and I join with the air of life, both incoming and outgoing, by which I digest the 4 kinds of foodstuffs. So fire is one of Krishna's energies.
Are the other elements all everywhere too?
Well, the idea is that was compared with Krishna being everywhere, but it looks like he's nowhere. Here he looks like he's everywhere because of the pictures and your hearts and the deities. But let's take earth. Tejo Vadi Mridam. Mridam means earth. So where's the earth? You pointed to the floor. It looks like wood to me. Oh, below the floor is earth. Good. But do you know that the floor is also earth? It is. Glass is also earth. Plastic is made of chemicals, forget that. Pots, vessels, it's all transformed earth under different names. A cup made of gold, a garment made of gold, a necklace made of gold is all gold. Similarly, everything is made of earth unless it's made of chemicals. So then, earth, fire, water. Water is compared with the living entity because water in its natural state is nice, it's liquid. But if it's in a very cold place like a freezer, then the water becomes solid, especially if you have it in those ice cube holders. Then it becomes like square solid things. And if somebody throws a solid ice at you, it could really hurt you. But water is not like that. So in its natural state, water is one thing, but then it changes state. Not only does it get cold and solid, but it also becomes steam if it's very hot. So in the natural state, the jiva is pure, eternal, full of bliss, full of knowledge. And that's the state of liberation. The state that we're in now is an unnatural state. It's like a solid state or a steamy state. How are you, Adidas? Good. So, and steam can also burn. So actually, who is the jiva? Because that's one of the breakups of Krishna's energy. He has the Parashakti, the complete spiritual energy, which is broken down into three. The spiritual energy, Shit Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and then Maya Shakti, material cosmic manifestation. And who is the Jiva? Anybody know the verse? Jiver Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nitya Das, Krishnera Tatastha Shakti, Ved Abed Prakash. Is it Veda Aveda? Yes, it's Bhed. B-H, Bhed. Can you say that? Bhed, different, and Abhed, Prakash. He's a manifestation, simultaneously Bhed, different, and Abhed, non-different. And he's Krishna's, Krishnera Tatastha Shakti. He's his marginal potency. I can turn towards Krishna, I can turn away from Krishna. And by the effect of Maya covering us, which is Kartam, Akartam, Patiyasi Shakti, by which the impossible can become possible. And what happened to you, Haridas?
You know what? The impossible became possible.
What does that mean?
That even though I'm of the superior energy, I somehow got covered by the inferior energy.
I see. So the inherent form of the jiva is what? Huh? No, that's not inherent at all. Inherent means you're not inherently dormant. You're inherently Krishna Das. If you're covered, then your inherent nature is dormant. Get the difference? Okay. And then the spiritual world, what's the last line of this verse? Yes. Before that? Dhamna svena sada nirastakuakam. That Dham, or the abode of Krishna, is forever free from illusion, or forever free from the illusory representations of this material world. And so there's no Maya there in the spiritual world. Only eternity, bliss, and knowledge. So the jiva can never have fallen down from that world. Rather, where did we fall from? The marginal line, where we had the choice to look up or down. So that is and sada, tamna svena sada, always free from illusion. Why do I meditate on him? I meditate on him because he's the absolute truth. So what am I asking for? Please be merciful and manifest in my heart. Just imagine if that would happen. Whew. Okay, and you know what? There's a deeper meaning. The deeper meaning is that janmadi yasya. Adi means Adi Ras. Adi Yasya means Adi Ras. So what is the original Ras? Madhurya Ras is the original Ras, Shringar Ras. And it comes from Krishna. And so the first explanation was that Krishna is the God, the all-omniscient, all-powerful God, controlling everything. And then the more deeper meaning is that Krishna is the original embodiment of all ras. Not ras, but ras. Ras means, in Hindi, ras means juice, tasty juice. So tasty, mellow humors or relationships. He's the source of them all, and he's the object of them all. Akila Rasamrita Sindhu means the ocean of all rasas, means everybody has a relationship with him alone. And then direct, because now we're talking about Shringar Ras, right? Madhurya Ras, or conjugal love. Krishna, the supreme male, and Radharani, the supreme female, and then she has her expansions, the gopis, who are expansions of her bodily form. So, what is Anvaya Iterates in the deeper meaning? It means meeting and separation. And although Radha and Krishna have meeting and separation, they're always together. Even when there's sense of separation, within that separation you're absorbed. Did you ever fall in love in the material world? And so you're feeling separation from them, but they're living in you. Everywhere you go, you see them there, right? You would know. So it was the same thing, except this is the perverted reflection. The person's not really there. So Radha and Krishna are always together, but there's a sense of meaning and a sense of separation. The one doesn't exist without the other. If there's no Radharani, his pleasure potency, his supreme power, then Krishna wouldn't have any qualities, because Radharani is the embodiment of his qualities, which is because she's the power for him to have those qualities, right? Could you have the quality of beautiful if you didn't have any Shakti or power? What would you become? A dead gray skeleton, right? Because you don't have any power. So Krishna would be nirvishesha. He would be without qualities. He would be the impersonal Brahman without Radharani. She is the embodiment of his beauty, wealth, fame, strength, knowledge, renunciation. Get it? Okay. In that case, since we're dealing with Shringar Ras, Madhurya Ras, and all the rasas. So who would be, so Krishna would be giving the Vedic knowledge into the heart of who? No. No. More? No, we already did Lord Brahma. Because in this deeper meaning, even Lord Brahma is bewildered as to what's going on. It would be Sukadeva Goswami. And then he was able to speak the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Radha and Krishna told him, stay in the world for a while, we're going to our abode and preach. So now he becomes the first Kavi, or the original poet. And then Vyanti Suraya means not only all the other demigods, but Brahma too becomes bewildered. And then Tejo Vari Mridam. Again we have fire, water, and earth. So here, when you men say the Gayatri mantra, isn't there a Teja in there? Bhargasa. No, that's the sun. Bhargo, Devasya. Bhargo is the same as Teja. It means power. And who's Krishna's power? Krishna's Devo, right? Who's Krishna's power? Srimati Radhika. So I'm praying that Krishna comes into my heart. So I meditate on the power of Krishna, who is Srimati Radhika. Vyasadeva, who wrote this verse, right? Vyasadeva prays to Radhika the power of Krishna. And without understanding this, we can't enter into the Srimad Bhagavatam or the pastimes of Krishna without understanding that. In other words, as the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, if you're seeing Krishna in Aishwarya or opulence, then there's no way you can enter the pastimes.
Can you repeat that one more time then?
Which part?
What we need to know so we can.
That Vyasadeva prays to Radhika the power of Krishna. And I meditate on the power of Krishna, Srimati Radhika. She's the Tejo. And as I said, even when they're separated, they're together. It's just a concept. And then there's a verse from the Brahma Samhita, which Gurudev quotes, to show that. Ananda Chinamay Rasa Pratitabitabis Tabirja Eva Nija Rupa Taya Kalabir Goloka Eva Nija Satya Gilat Mabuto Govindamari Purasham Tamahang Bhajami. Sri Govinda, who is all pervading and who exists within the heart of all, resides in his Goloka Dham, along with Radha, who's the embodiment of his pleasure potency. I know this is very condensed material. Who's the embodiment of his pleasure potency and the counterpart of his own spiritual form. She's the feminine counterpart. She's the epitome of transcendental ras. And her ras, Madhurya ras or Shringar ras, includes all the other rasas. Friendship, parental, everything's included within her. And she's also expert in the 64 arts. And Radha and Krishna are accompanied by their Sakhis, who are expansions of Radharani's own transcendental body, and who are infused with blissful spiritual ras. So I worship that original person, Govinda. And then there's another deeper one, that there can be no conjugal love without Srimati Radhika. She nourishes all the ras, because all the ras require bhakti, and she's the embodiment of bhakti or devotion. But then the still superior meeting, which is the fourth meeting, there's no ras without Srimati Radhika. In all other relationships that Krishna has, like Lakshmi Narayan, there's only one ras really, which is that she's a servant. She's like a servant. Everyone is like a servant. And with Sita Ram or Dwarkadish and Satyabhama, there's only like 2.5 rasas there. There's no real conjugal love as a ras, and there's no full parental ras, because the parents consider that Ram is also God, and Devaki, the mother of Krishna there, considers that he's also God. So there's only a percentage of ras. And also, even the conjugal ras in Dwarka is mixed with servitorship. So there's friendship, but it's mixed with Aishwarya as well. So here, Satyam Param Dhimahi is Radhika. But then, and then who's the Adi Kavi who this is revealed to? Sukadeva Goswami. But then there's one more deeper meaning, and that refers to the combination of Radha and Krishna, who is who? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combination of Radha and Krishna. The first is in relation to Krishna as the creator. The second is relation to Krishna as the reservoir of all ras. The third is relation to Radha and Krishna. The fourth is relation to Radha. And the fifth deepest is in relation to Mahaprabhu, where we find out the most intimate information, you could say. So, who would be the Adi Kavi in this instance? Rupa Goswami, because Mahaprabhu revealed in Prayag all the secret truths, the most secret truths of the Absolute Truth to Rupa Goswami in Prayag. And so they all went into his heart, and then he wrote so many books. Well, there's Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then there's Ujjvala Nilamani, Vidagdha Madhav, and Lalita Madhav. So many books he wrote. So here we're praying that may Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifest himself in our heart. Yes. So Gurudev ends this lecture where he's talking about the 5 different meanings. You should know how fortunate you are that you have come in this very rare line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way you can always be hopeful and practice like this. Satyam Param is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Dhimahi, I meditate on him. Do you know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is? So he's Krishna who wanted to understand the love that Radharani has for him, and what is it about himself that Radharani relishes more than anybody, including him. He can't even taste the excellence of his own self. And what is her happiness in that loving relation that is millions of times greater than his? So for that, he became overwhelmed with her mood and complexion, or they combined together as one, and became Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who brought the chanting of the Hare Krishna and made it so popular in this world. And he is the one who's giving that very simple and sublime process. Whereas we were just reading a couple of days ago, or yesterday rather, and today, that in order to get love of Krishna, in order to get him as their son, devotees did thousands of years. And there was one old lady who got the Gopal mantra and Kam Gayatri mantra from Narada. And she was doing Aradhana of those two mantras for how long? 100,000 years. And then finally she got it. Krishna blessed her to be a gopi. So we have to simply chant Hare Krishna. You don't have to sit in the middle of 5 fires in the summer and with your body dunked up to your neck in freezing ice water. Just simply chant Hare Krishna, honor Prasadam, read this beautiful philosophy and pastimes of the Lord, associate with devotees. And so for us, also, the deepest is Satyam Param Dhimahi Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? Any questions? Yes.
So, the translation that Srila Prabhupada gives to us sounds very different from what Param Gurudev is giving us, at least on the deeper levels. It sounds like Srila Prabhupada's giving us just Aishwarya, Krishna is great, Krishna is great. Can you help me understand how Srila Prabhupada is actually giving us all the complete meanings?
Well, here, in this lecture, it's a commentary from Srila Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur. With Srila Prabhupada, he gave us the first meaning right there. But then if you look, you'll see that he's mentioning Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur's commentary, where Adi Yasha means Adi Ras, the conjugal Ras. And in his so many, in all the books, is this understanding. Just here, then there, then there.
Okay, thank you.
Like there's a whole Chaitanya Charitamrita that says he's the absolute truth. And then there's, in the Adi Lila, there are invocation verses. And one of them is, I worship Sri Guru and Vaishnavas and all the manifestations, and finally the Supreme Absolute Truth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that verse? I say it every morning. Why don't I remember it? Yeah, it's Adi Lila. It's one of the first few verses. What's the verses? Yeah. No. Starts with the word guru. Huh? No, here. Pande Gurum Isha Bhaktam Isham Isha Bhatarakam Tat Prakasham Chitat Bhaktis Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakyam. Means, I offer my obeisances to the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord, the incarnations, the plenary portions, his energies, his plenary portions, his energies, and the primeval Lord himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So everything is there in Prabhupada's books, here, there, and there, and there.
Make sure that I'm understanding you right. You're saying that we can understand that Srila Prabhupada is giving us this highest meaning of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Satyam Param Dhimahi by understanding what his commentary within Chaitanya Charitamrita,
Well, there's so many places.
and all the places where he gives that the absolute truth is Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's also Radha and Krishna. It's also Krishna. The other ones didn't go away. The other meanings didn't go away. Yeah, we'll have to end somewhere. Yeah.
I didn't really understand the meaning of indirect.
Additionally, who got Prabhupada's Bhagavatam? He brought it from India and distributed it to all the animals. Right? Like myself.
I remember reading in that purport too, he mentions Adi Ras.
Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Yes. It's also mentioned in the 6th canto. You can find it if you look there.
I didn't really get the understanding of the meaning indirect
Which one?
in that with that verse. The definition of
No, I understand. Ichritas.
Anaya
Anvaya.
Ditaratas.
But do you mean the first?
the first one? Yeah.
The
Sorry to
first
go
one
down,
means he's directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. So means it's just a wonderful thing
Yeah.
that despite us being superior to Maya, that we're under Maya, inert matter. It doesn't sound like a meaning of indirect, but that's what Srila Gurudev gave as it.
Maybe I'll look
That's
in the
what
book.
Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur gave as the meaning of indirect. I'll try to find it again. All right, so first meaning. And that's the second meaning. First meaning. All right, so where did it go? Here it is. So as far as Maya Shakti is concerned, she's not zero. She is also a power of Krishna, because we're discussing the 3 different Shaktis. She creates hundreds and thousands of universes. This is what is meant by direct. What is meant by indirect? All souls are conscious, chit, aware, and Maya is jada, inert. Although inert, she covers the conscious beings, or Chaitanya Pradartha. This is the very strange thing. The jiva is conscious, Maya is inert, but the wonderful thing, or strange, is that the jiva is covered and involved with inert matter. So involved. Isn't it? We're so involved. Such thinking should not take place, but it does. This strange phenomenon becomes possible by the power of Krishna's power, kartam akartam patiyasi shakti, or gatan agatan patiyasi shakti. By this power, everything that is impossible becomes possible. That's the meaning of direct. The impossible becomes possible by his power. Go up, print.
Oh, I was just going to say I found it.
What?
The reference
Okay,
is
go.
quick work, right?
Huh?
Okay, it's really quick. It's Srila Prabhupada in his commentary on the verse 111, he says, he mentions that the commentary is on Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti, and Vallabhacharya, and he says a serious student would do well to attempt to go through them to better relish the transcendental messages, and then he speaks about Adi Ras and Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's commentaries for a paragraph or 2.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur specifically deals with the original and pure sex psychology, Adi Ras, devoid of all mundane inebriety. The whole material creation is moving under the principle of Adi Ras. In modern civilization, Adi Ras is the focal point for all activities, sex life. Wherever one turns his face, he sees it predominant. Therefore, this Adi Ras is not unreal. Its reality is experienced in the spiritual world. The material sex life is but a perverted reflection of the original fact. The original fact is in the absolute truth, and thus the absolute truth cannot be impersonal. It is not possible to be impersonal and contain pure Adi Ras. Consequently, the impersonalist philosophers have given indirect impetus to the abominable mundane sex life because they have overstressed the impersonality of the ultimate truth. Consequently, man without information of actual spiritual form of this Adi Ras has accepted perverted material sex life as the all in all. There is a distinction between sex life in the diseased material condition and in spiritual form.
Good. Great. Okay. And again, you go here, there, and you come to it again. Goa Premanandi. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. All of our acharyas like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and so on ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Premanandi. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. And how first book that he brought from India is opened up by all the animals.